Khotso a be le lena, ke tshepo re le phidile ka moka ga lona, modimo le tlhogonofatse. This year marks exactly 80 years since the formation of the ANC Youth League structure. And the ANC Youth League organized a beautiful event inviting all of his previous Youth League president to come and speak about the legacy of the ANC Youth League structure. I wonder why they never invited one of their most notable president, Julius Sello Malema. But anyway, there were some great speakers who came and spoke, and I think most of them made incredible inputs as to what they said. I want to speak about one particular speaker, the former president of the Youth League, who was elected 3 times in a row. I believe Malusi Gigaba was elected in 1996, in 1998, and in 2001. Malusi Gigaba is one of those politicians who don't hold back his words. He speaks his mind. And for me, he's one of the ANC politicians that I like so much because white monopoly capitalists hated him. And you know, if white monopoly capitalists hate you, there's something right that you are definitely doing. I want to break down some of the clips or some of the things that he said and deliberate a little bit on them because I think he was hitting the nail on top of the head. Let's talk about Malusi Gigaba and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Blackheart, the hustle continuer. Made to inspire your goals and dreams. 100% good quality clothes are now available at affordable prices. T-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, bucket hats, and more. Place your orders now. 06847366908. Instagram Black7576. Facebook page Blackheart.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono. And we are back at it again with another one. And this time around, I want to speak about the speech that Malusi Gigaba delivered in the 80th birthday of the ANC Youth League structure. Guys, before I start with that, we heard that Pravin Gordhan is in hospital. I'm not sure why he's in hospital, but I saw some posts, people posting that sadly today Pravin has woken up alive and all of those things. I know my African people that we might not like Pravin, how he treated us and all of the things that he did. But it does not mean that we have to scoop down that low. I don't like the man. I think he was a puppet of white monopoly capitalists. He was never pro-African. He was never pro-black. He never bettered the lives or fixed the estate entities or anything like that. But it does not mean we have to scoop down that low to say, no, we are even wishing death upon someone else, mother and father, brother, sister, whatever. Let's not do that. Let the course of life take its charge because all of us are going to walk this road. Please, guys, let's not scoop that low. Anyways, Malusi Gigaba. I loved Malusi Gigaba, especially when he was working with Jacob Zuma. Actually, I thought Malusi would move to the MK because he is the right person to have as a Minister of Finance in the future. I know Malusi had his controversial events that happened with his wife, the Guptas and everything, but I still believe that there is so much good and so much wealth of knowledge that is in Malusi. I mean, he was in the National Assembly, I believe, since 1999, and the man has got a wealth of experience in politics. One clip that I remember about Malusi Gigaba was when, I think after they took him out of the state capture and he was replaced by, I think, Pravin, and they interviewed him and asked him about Cyril Ramaphosa. I think this was 2019, just before the conference. And what he said that day showed me that Malusi Gigaba is a true man.
Do you believe that President Cyril Ramaphosa, going into conference now, is still the right man to lead the party and indeed, by extension, the country? Or are you backing a different candidate?
Look, I think that the experience of the last 5 years, people must not be judged on the basis of whether you like them or not. You must judge them on the basis of their track record. We've had unprecedented load shedding. We've had unprecedented unemployment. The economy has been stagnant. The country has been undergoing a prolonged period and process of fiscal austerity. The ANC is more divided today than it's ever been. We've had almost 4 years of interim structures existing. Even as we go to conference in December, we do not have an SG. We have we don't have a deputy SG. We have 3, if not 4, interim structures that are attending conference. Actually, about 5. The Western Cape, Free State, the Veterans League, the Women's League, and the ANC Youth League. Surely that experience should say to us, we cannot say that we are going to disregard all that has happened in the last 5 years and demand a repeat of the previous 5 years. We can't have a new 5 years that looks exactly like the previous 5 years. So we need to give someone else an opportunity to lead the African National Congress.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, people don't understand when we are criticizing political parties or politicians. They think that we are emotional, we are personal and everything. We don't do that. I think what Malusi is saying, or what Malusi said in 2019, was so very relevant, because he said we must not judge someone because we like them or not. Judge the track record. And the track record of Cyril Ramaphosa proved to us that there is nothing new that is going to come out of that man. We knew this in 2019. This is 2024. We were right. The load shedding that happened after he employed Andre de Ruyter was a big disaster, a disastrous appointment in the history of South Africa. And also the unemployment rate, the crime rate. I mean, we don't have to remind you what we have been suffering, the petrol and everything. We don't even know what is the what is what. White monopoly capitalists getting away with crime. Currency manipulation. You never had the president come out and speak, strongly against these white banks that are manipulating our currency. I mean, you never heard him. You don't hear him even in racism attacks. You don't hear Cyril Ramaphosa coming out and taking charge of his country. He's always consultative. He's always forming a committee or some type of something that must inquiry that must happen. He never takes charge of his country. So the division in the ANC, because of that, has become even more. The factions in the ANC has never been so divided. So the last 5 years is going to be like the next 5 years. There is nothing that is going to change. So I also support what Malusi said back then, that let's give someone else a chance. I mean, that was powerful that Malusi Gigaba said that. I wanted to start with this old clip so that we can remember what type of a person Malusi Gigaba was. But on the 80th birthday, he even punched even harder. I love what he said about the relationships in the ANC has now become transactional. It has become more commodified. Like, what is it in for me if I vote for you? And he was actually throwing low blows to Cyril Ramaphosa if Cyril was listening.
When relations among comrades have become transactional and commodified, we now engage on the basis of how much money you give me, not on the strength of your ideas, your organizational experience, and your ability to perform the tasks of the movement. But the commodification of the ANC, of relations among comrades, has allowed capitalist values to creep into the movement, where decisions have become transactional, be it policy or the buying of membership, or election into leadership. The problem with that is that we've allowed a Trojan horse, because the opponents, the enemies of the ANC, had always wanted to defeat the ANC, and they understood that they couldn't do so from outside. So the best way is to creep inside the ANC, and once inside, begin to destroy the wall. Once they've breached the walls of Troy, begin to destroy Troy, the ANC. You divide comrades. You cause splinter groups. You dissipate the support of the ANC and the overwhelming power of a united black majority. You dissipate that united power and therefore ensure that as black people we are unable to speak as one along our own interests, because we have to hold the view that the National Democratic Revolution has not been achieved. So when we raised this issue in 2001, we didn't know back then that it would go so far. It would have such far reach.
Like I said, Malusi Gigaba does not beat around his words. I mean, these politicians, they must not think that we don't know what they are saying. Malusi is just shorting to insert the name of Cyril Ramaphosa in what he said. And for me, it was going to be a perfect politician. But because they are still in the ANC, they are, beating around the bush, still trying to massage this elephant in the room. But what he said is quite correct. Relations have become transactional. Everyone is asking, what is it in for them? Especially now, it's going to be worse, that people can see clearly that the ANC will not improve from that 40%. It is only a dream to think that the ANC can improve from 40%. White monopoly capitalists would not allow it, because the DA has now, the Democratic Alliance has got now its foot into government. This one leg is into government. So the white monopoly capitalist is going to push so hard that the DA can get another foot into government, maybe even 2029, receive the deputy president or even the president, depending on how the ANC fixes its relations with its alliance partners, COSATU and the Communist Party. And as you know, those relations are not going very well. The capitalist values has now went in the ANC, and it's now on the table. You cannot ignore this thing of saying, how will I capitalize? How will I gain from everything that I'm doing? Like I said, these politicians are seasonal politicians. They can see this honesty and trying to fix the ANC now is not going to help us. We have to become selfish in everything that we're doing. That's why Malusi said decisions have become transactional. I mean, he's using the right words. Decisions have become transactional. The ANC that they want us to vote for, the decisions in the ANC, according to their leaders, have become transactional. Capitalist values is sitting in the ANC. This is the ANC that we must vote for. They have defeated the ANC from within. White monopoly capitalists saw that from outside they can't defeat. Why from outside? Because the ANC had the numbers. But if you get inside, you can find one of 3 or 4 or 5 of those comrades who want this over everything. Their morals, their values are broken once you show them the empty check. They will sign any number there and sell their souls. And unfortunately for the ANC, most of their comrades are Buffett. Ever since Mandela Day till today. It did not start with Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa has always been there, we know. But all the other comrades, they have benefited one way or another. So the black unity is destroyed, because they saw from within, if they can just destroy this black unity and unity of power from black people, you can do anything that you want in the ANC. So we don't speak in one voice anymore. Black people don't speak in one voice. Yesterday I played you a clip of Floyd Shivambo saying that the colonizers defeated us because they fought us in small groups. And we allowed them. Oh, they are fighting Amazulu. kanti mabaqeda ngamaZulu bazuza kuwe batlotla mo lena Mapedi batlotla lena Matsonga batlotla mo lena Batswana. One by one they defeated us because we did not fight as a group. We were always divided as a nation of black people. So that is very sad. He also spoke about the renewal of the ANC Youth League. What he said, Malusi.
It must not be renewal for its own self. Otherwise, renewal becomes another evangelical program. It's got to be based on the strategic objective of the emancipation, of total emancipation. And so in that regard, the question that we have to grapple with as this generation, that you have to grapple with as this generation, is how do you take renewal further such that you present new ideas? The problem when we went into the election this year, one of the problems is that we go into every election and present the same programs. You know, once comrades have spoken about providing social grants to 17 million people, you would think they actually believe this is the most radical thing that we should do. It's what the NTR is about. The NTR is not about social grants. Social grants are a transitional measure to alleviate poverty. The ultimate objective is to transform the structures of production. It's to transform the relations of production. It is to transform the institutions of economic activity and the systems of that economy. We must ensure that the black majority are owners of productive assets. They are significant players in the direction of the means of production in our country. And finally, as I see the chair, so one of the things we did was to begin campaigning against racism. Andrew Babeile, and I hope he forgives me for speaking about him in public, Andrew Babeile was freed by our campaign, our steadfast campaign. We refused to agree with the then Minister of Justice when he said to us that no, the law must take its course and so on. We refused to agree with that. Up to a point where Madiba himself visited Andrew in prison. It was the first time that a sitting president visits a sitting.
It is quite sad that leadership of the ANC is speaking about total emancipation of its people. Guys, it's not going to happen. Nihlulekile 30 years. You guys had a chance. And thina zange sithi ningadli. Arare leskaja. Ijang mara alfetso jamo akele thuseng batho tle. Thusang batho lukisang ditrata, municipality a ibereke. Kore wa itse keng a go be le metsi, go be le motlakase. Kore batho ba rena ba phila botlhoko o ka re arena government ya batho puso ya batho ba bantsho. Re tsore puso ya rena mara motlhako o tlhakang. Yo, tota. So I'm saying to you guys, what Malusi Gigaba is saying, it breaks my heart. And listen what he's saying, because I've always said this. He says, this new youth league must present some new ideas. That's what I said about Colin Malaji. I said, Colin Malaji is a youth league president that does not think out of the box. I think yesterday I did a video about him, or 2 days ago. I said, he does not think out of the box. There's nothing new that is coming out of him. It's because he became too rich early when he was in parliament too early, and he joined the classism class, where now he's got the blue lights, he's got the money, he's in parliament. He got detached from the realities that are facing the youth. He can speak about them, but truly Colin Malaji does not know anymore what unemployment feels like. He's been in the ANC Youth League. Was he elected or was he appointed as a leader? But anyway, the reality is no longer there for the Youth League. They go into every election saying the same thing that they said the past election. It's embarrassing. And we allowed them for 30 years to tell us the same thing. Guys, we're going to build new houses. Guys, we're going to fix the roads. Guys, we're going to build new schools. Now they are working with a government that is under financial strain. They can't do anything because the budget cut is everywhere in every department. It's heartbreaking to listen to our leaders speak like this in the ANC. It's very heartbreaking. They managed to kill the ANC from within. You know, the black majority must be in ownership and production. Yeah, how many? I mean, this was what Biko was saying. This was what Robert Sibuku was saying. This is what Chris Ahani was saying. This is what Mandela was saying. And now you are trying to tell me, you guys want to tell us that black people need to own the means of production this year in 2024, after you were in government for so long. I know. That's why I continuously told you guys, I said, guys, you know, when we speak about Paseta, when we speak about the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture, we're talking about leaving a legacy behind, coming up with new ideas. This is a new idea. There's no one in South Africa that has come out and said, I want to build a Pan-African school that teaches children about proper African history, proper technology, proper economics, and proper agriculture. Nobody. We are the ones who came up with this idea in this channel. We made a call and said, we want people to help us form. I found 4 gentlemen, and they said they will help me form this idea. You understand? And the 5 gentlemen are putting in the work. We have a Chief Wood in the founding members who is in the Khoisan. We have IT technicians. We have graphic designers. We've got businessmen in the founding members. So you can't tell me that we can fail. On top of that, we said, guys, we're going to do everything from scratch with black money. We are not going to allow anyone to take the glory from us. We are not going to ask China to build a school for us. We are not going to ask Russia to build. We're going to build this money with black money. Why? Because we want to be proud of the product, the end product that it was done by Africans for Africans. You understand what I'm saying? Why did we do that? Because we want to answer the question when the generation that comes after us asks us, what did you do? Then we've got something to point. And I always repeat this, but it's very important because it applies even on a personal level. You in your life, at home, at work, people will ask you, what is the impact that you have left behind, even in relationships? You understand? You need to leave something that is memorable, that even when you are not there, even when we are gone to meet with our ancestors, the legacy must outlive us, ladies and gentlemen. That is what is important. So that's why we came together. We created a website. We created the business plan. We did everything. We said, guys, we need 10,000 Africans, black in particular, to say we want to donate to the school. We said 50 rand minimum, but some of you said, King, I don't have a 50 rand, I have a 35 rand. We said that's fine. You have a 20 rand, that's fine. You have a 10 rand, that's also fine. Let's contribute each. Let's not watch ba bangwe bale ba ga ba irang dilo tsa bona rena re dutse fela re ba bogetse. And I told you guys, I refuse to be a content creator that does not infect change into the lives of my people. Because this is a responsibility that I have. What am I doing with this power? What am I doing with these views? What am I doing with this channel? Let's build Paseta, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture in each and every province in South Africa. You guys know our footprint is all over Africa, in Uganda, in Angola, in Namibia, and I told you guys that we're doing Lesotho and Zimbabwe. We want every country or every state, because we believe Africa is one country, every state in Africa to have its own black independent school. You understand? And I can't get tired of speaking about this. Each and every day I will preach this message into your head until you understand, Guti, we will not die unless we leave something, until we leave something behind. That is going to outlive us. The school is going to outlive you. The school that you attended as a small boy in primary is still there. Your principal is no longer there. Some of your teachers are no longer there, but the legacy of the school remains there. That's what we are trying to do with Paseta. So I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you, my Africa, what am I going to leave behind? Okay, maybe I don't have a lot of money, but let me contribute to this school, the little that I have, to say, hey guys, I see you guys are doing something. The least I can do is support. Some of you are saying, King, I'm a teacher. Some of you are talking about the type of skills that you have. Everything, send it to the WhatsApp group so that we can pack you nicely into the relevant people, stakeholders of this Paseta dream, so that when the time comes, when the doors of the school are being opened, you can be placed in the right position. You understand what I'm saying? Guys, let's build Paseta, man. Let's build Paseta. Never. Thank you so much for everyone who has contributed to Paseta. Your money is well received, and I always tell you guys that I wish God can bless you immensely, and may you never lack in the area of finance. But until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.